The Showdown Podcast presents the Carl Donniger Memorial Battle Royal Invitational Classic featuring Carl Donniger. Today's combatants, Corey I Wear Brute Miller and his film The Guardians of the Galaxy. And his opponent, Vic Take the Black Pill Miller and his film The Matrix. With your host, Brad Scott, let us prepare to podcast. Welcome to the Showdown Podcast. This is the Carl Donniger Memorial Battle Royal Invitational Classic.
Miraculously still alive.
All right, today we have a comic book showdown in honor of Indy PopCon. What's that?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi? Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever. We just fucked that up already. Right at the gate. You know what? I deserve this.
Yeah, you do.
There's no escaping it. Nobody's safe. All right. It is our sci-fi battle. I think this is sci-fi battle number 18. In the series.
The redeeming factor is they are both comic books.
Are they really?
Yeah. The Matrix was a comic book.
Oh, Corey, do you hear that? Can you hear that?
It was a comic book before it was a movie.
Oh, do you hear that, Corey? That's for you.
Yeah, but the topic was sci-fi. It just so happens that they're comics as well.
Either way, I will take it. So we are joined again by Mr. President, Carl Donniger. He is president of Indy PopCon, which starts...
I am Groot. It is June 17th through 19th at the Indiana Convention Center.
And you can get all that information and tickets at on the Facebook page, Indy PopCon, and at the website,
IndyPopCon.com.
Awesome. And we are going to be there again this year. If you remember last year, we talked to Sam Jones. We talked to...
Rupert from Survivor.
We
the
talked
amazingly
to
shy girl with the animal suit on.
Oh, the furry.
Furry, yeah.
Did you see that last year?
Yeah. Well, that's not amazingly shy. That's her character.
We didn't actually put that video out, I don't think.
Well, I don't know why we didn't. That was a great interview.
Because the audio wasn't any good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because, see, I do this podcast with two guys who brag about how geeky they are and how tech they are. But every time we do a goddamn convention, Corey's going, I don't know why this mic isn't working. I didn't charge any batteries.
How does this fall on me?
Well, you're guilty by association.
Oh, Jesus. Then so are you.
You're supposed to be tech enough to fix that shit when he fucks it up.
Didn't know it was a problem.
All right, yeah. So, but we will be back. We will be back, and this year we will be prepared. I can give you that. I can tell you that.
Yes, we are.
This is our second run at it, and we had a lot of fun last year. We did the video game challenges with. I think our favorite was what the Everything Goes Boom.
Yep.
Is that what it was called? That was a great game. And of course, Corey's favorite. Was We Are Chicago, right? That was the name. See, Corey is a racist, Carl. I know it doesn't seem like he is, but he's a bona fide racist, has been on this show for a couple of years.
And who'd you give the black pill to?
We gave it to Vic.
Okay.
Because Corey won't take the black pill.
No, I'm calling him the racist.
He won't go near it.
But Corey was that was his nightmare. Having to live as a black family in Chicago. We had to put headphones on of just nothing but Bing Crosby's I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas over and over again to calm him down and settle him down.
Dreaming.
And you were going to be doing the video game battle again this year, correct?
Yes.
At Indy PopCon?
Yeah.
Oh, then we might have more video game. You guys pretty much did all the playing, though.
You played a little bit.
Did the triangle racing game win anything? You know what I'm talking about?
Boy, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
It did not.
No, I mean, my role at the convention, I didn't get to actually go play any of those games, so I don't remember what was on stage.
You did not miss much.
The
Everything Goes Boom was great, but the triangle game, man, God bless him for trying, but
and the
you
cooking
just can't.
game did very well too.
The cooking game was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the cooking game won. Yeah.
Yeah, I rocked that game.
He set a record. He sat down and the guy was immediately like, fuck. Like, we got to go make this harder now. We didn't realize Fred Savage from The Wiz was going to step up and dominate.
He set the record for, what was it, for
The most complicated meal ever created on the game.
Nice.
And the guy was like, shit, I created it. I didn't even know you could do that. That's amazing.
Some components by the time I was done with it.
But we're going to talk more PopCon after the battle. So we know you guys probably missed these because we had a lot of Survivor Series in a row there.
Yeah.
And then we had one where Corey fucked up on the audio. So
that was not my fault.
yeah,
I'll take credit for that.
There we go.
By the
Carl
way,
sabotaging.
by the way, Pee-wee survives. Batman survives.
Pee-wee did not survive, right?
That's
It
my
did for
vote.
me.
Oh,
That's
it
my
was a
vote.
split vote?
Yeah,
Oh, so
split.
Pee-wee does?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pee-wee
holy
makes
shit. Breaking news. Where's our sound? Carl? There we go.
I forgot. Yeah, I did do that.
So Pee-wee Herman, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Batman, Tim Burton's 1980 Batman, both survivors. Both will go into the Showdown Hall of Fame on
My
Instagram
contract
very
has been
soon.
signed. I got my M&Ms properly provided for me.
Good. So yeah, Vic, welcome back, Vic. We
back.
forgot.
Yes.
Welcome back, Vic. Vic hasn't been here. He was pissed at us. He had a contract dispute. It was ugly. He didn't say anything during those 2 episodes,
My
even
lawyer
though he
told
was
me
here.
to remain silent
For
until
2
things
full
were taken care of.
episodes. And we've been trying to get Corey's lawyer to tell him to remain silent, but it never seems to work.
That's because Corey has an idiot for a lawyer. You know, the man that's his own lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Fool representing a fool.
Exactly.
So let's get into this battle. Vic, you're back. Why don't you call it?
All right. So, heads. And if this racist bitch kicks me again,
Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails.
Ah! Corey, would you like to go first, or are you going to
I'll come to
defer?
the conclusion that Siri is a racist. She is against me every possible chance she gets.
I'm going to defer.
Oh, all right. Well, Vic, you are up first, and your movie is The Matrix.
The Matrix. So, The Matrix is a rather heavy and deep story based in the 21st century. Man has developed artificial intelligence and to help create a better life for mankind. The problem is that, as in all of these storylines, the machines take control, and man has to fight back to regain his control over their freedoms. But they go to war. The humans basically scorch the sky and stop the artificial intelligence who are surviving through solar power in order to keep themselves running. We decide that it's a pretty good idea to basically blow up everything we can, darken the skies, and keep the machines from progressing on and ending mankind. This works out for a little while until the machines figure out that they have the best possible power source in the world by utilizing mankind as giant batteries. And they enslave mankind. They insert them into these tanks that draw off their body heat and their electromagnetic signatures, and basically figure out how to power themselves using us as a power source. So they start creating farms and birthing babies in little sacks and throwing them into the machine. And in order to keep us under wraps and in control, they create a virtual reality that we all have to live in. So right now we could be in the Matrix and not even know it. And we basically have to you live your life and you do what you do, and everything progresses. And most people never even notice that it's a thing, and except for a group of hackers who that are in the Matrix, who eventually figure out that there's something wrong. And as they figure this out and become more and more conscious of the odd things going on in the world, they become part of the greater story and the resistance to try to get mankind back control of the world. And they are visited by other hackers who have managed to get out of the Matrix and back into the real world, which there's not much of. As far as we're concerned, it's the 20th century. It's around 1999 when actually we find out that it's more closer to 2199. And the hackers have managed to start plucking people out of the Matrix due to their ability to kind of hack the Matrix in the first place. Our main character is Neo. He's considered to be the one.
Whoa.
And he is played by Keanu Reeves. He's prophesized to be the one that will deliver mankind from their oppressors. Morpheus, who is the supposed to be the most dangerous man in the world, according to the Matrix, is being hunted down by the machines to get him to stop basically plucking their power sources out of the machine. And he is joined by Carrie-Anne Moss, who plays Trinity, who is another major hacker in the world, and Neo, who Mr. Anderson, as his Matrix name, quote unquote, knows who she is by reputation and decides that he's going to kind of follow her down the rabbit hole, per se, and see what everything is, because she informs him that she knows who Morpheus is, and he's been trying to find Morpheus to find the answer to what is the Matrix. Storyline goes on, and basically he is, like I said, prophesized to be the one, but he has to be convinced that he has the ability to save mankind from, quote unquote, the machine that is keeping them all enslaved to the machine. There's a lot of weird psychological kind of backlash that the whole thing is like. Are we in a real world? Are we in a fake world? And even down to the point where they actually had to have all of the actors involved with the movie do some kind of psychology, boning up on their psychologies and their understanding of how it works in order to even win the role in the movie. So as the movie progresses, they pluck Neo from the Matrix and show him what real life is, which is actually a post-apocalyptic dystopian world that they are trying to win back from the machines. There's a place called Zion, which is their main kind of base of operations for what humans are still in existence, and there are some that have never been in the Matrix, and there's others that are being plucked from. So the machine wants to find Zion, which is the main goal of the machine, to destroy the rest of mankind and kind of reset everything and get their power source back under control. And to do this, they have agents, which are these constructs that are super intelligent and rather creepy, led by Hugo Weaving, who can basically manipulate the Matrix to take control of anyone that is in the Matrix. So if they decide they want to be Brad Scott, they just kind of jump inside of Brad Scott and become Brad Scott to hunt down whoever.
They're not going to like that credit score after they do that. They're not going to like that life.
So Hugo
Damn
Weaving,
it, I got into this Matrix and I'm unhealthy. I'm broke.
which that brings up one of our other characters whose name is Cypher.
He was my favorite.
Played by Joe Pantoliano.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants, exactly. He was in a lot of movies you like, I noticed, when looking him up. But he plays a character...
For whatever the hell you tried to say his last name as.
Oh, I thought it was because
Joey Pants?
Yeah, I thought it was because he's in movies that I like, so that's going to hurt his argument.
I was trying to get that fucking name out there. I don't know. Anyway, so he again is very unhappy with the fact that he decided to leave the Matrix. Morpheus gives everyone a choice when he pulls them out of the Matrix to whether or not they want to learn the truth or if they want to just go back to sleep. So he gives them the option. Cypher took the red pill, which takes you out of the Matrix and shows you what the real world is, or you can take the blue pill, which puts you back in. And since he took the red pill, he's not happy with how things are going, so he wants put back in, and he becomes the traitor within the group, and talks to Hugo Weaving about, or Agent Smith, about putting him back under and letting him, not know anything that's going on. He wants out. He wants a cushy lifestyle when he goes back into the Matrix, and he's willing to give up everybody to do so, which makes him a real ass in this movie.
Did they ever say who the first one out was? Like, the first one that came to the conclusion, oh, wait.
No, because you have Zion, which is an entire, like city full of people that have been out, because there had
to be a first one.
There were people who were never in, so they know that there are people who are in the machine, because there are people in Zion that were born outside of the machine.
That's
so they
conjecture.
were probably the first ones.
This is
No, it's truth, because Tank and Dozer are both born outside of the Matrix. They've never been connected to the Matrix.
I think it's one of those, if you think about it too much, your head will explode.
Uh-oh. It's all good. That's what the whole movie's about. So,
your head exploding? So
Cypher, who, again, like I said, is basically the traitor, comes to the point where he decides, sets up.
He wasn't a traitor. He was the only one that had some damn sense. I completely related to him. Yep. Fuck it. Just put me back in there. Give me a good job. Just let me not know about any of this. It seemed like it'd be awful to live outside the Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, they were, living in caves, pretty much?
Would you live in
Zion
or
wasn't
outside the Matrix?
Yeah, but
In or outside the Matrix?
I mean, it wasn't in this movie, but they were having orgies. I mean, come on, that's a hell of a cave.
Okay, yeah. You got it.
Yeah, suddenly he's on the side of that one. Yeah. I think that if I was taught by Morpheus to do all the shit that they do, I would live outside the Matrix, knowing I could get back in it and do whatever the fuck I want. I'd be down.
Okay, fair enough.
Honest answer. So Cypher, like I said, who basically backs out and fucks over the entire crew of the Nebuchadnezzar, sends the group in. He drops a phone that tells the agents where they're at and how to find them, and it manages to escape the booby trap that was laid as they were running away from the agents. He kind of tripped very unconvincingly and falls behind. Ends up back in the real world and basically murders everybody that's in his crew except for Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity by disconnecting them from the Matrix before they were ready to call out, which that scene for me that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. One, because Joey Pants, as you put it, is just the biggest ass in that scene, that he plays it so well. Like, he does shit in there. Like, he's talking to Trinity on the phone, and he's like, you know what? I've always liked you, but you're too much of a bitch to realize how much of a good guy I am. So I'm gonna kill you all. And he basically say goodbye to Epoch, click, and pulls his cord. Say goodbye to Switch, click, pulls her cord. Like, they just die in the Matrix. And if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. But he's so cold and callous about it. And where he jumps onto Lawrence Fishburne's lap and starts talking shit to him. I was waiting for him to smack him a couple times, which would have just been awesome. But he plays that role and that part. Like, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, because it's so fucking dirty the way he plays them out. It's just a great scene. It's really kind of a testament to how well that the whole movie was directed, is drawn in. So Neo has to be convinced that he is the one. They go to the Oracle. She tells him basically that you have to believe in order to really become the one. As they start fighting to go back in and save Morpheus, who's been captured by the agents, he starts to realize that all this shit that he's been learning is probably true, and that he may be the one. And he gets into several gun battles, and one of the most epic gun battles I've ever seen in a movie is in The Matrix, where they just collect all of the weapons that they can possibly find, put them in a big duffel bag, and walk into a security area and just start fucking blaring on everybody in there. And there are more fucking bullets expended in that one scene than I think I've seen in most movies. Basically, break into a military guarded facility, federal facility, where they're holding Morpheus, trying to break him to give them the codes to get into Zion, which if they can do that, then they can send in the machine forces to eradicate the human plague, or virus, as Agent Smith refers to us as. But he holds strong and basically holds out until Neo and Trinity. Yeah, the stink thing is amazing. He holds out, and Neo and Trinity enter the Matrix and go to save him. And this is the scene where one of the greatest technological advances in filmmaking was introduced. So in video games, movies, and everything else in existence at this point, you have what's called bullet time, which was developed and created in this movie.
And then overused
For the first few years.
Yeah.
For the first few years.
Very much so. But still, on top of that,
You owe
used,
Steve Austin a beer.
but also to this point and this day, still used in current movies. So you can't really say that it's a bad thing per se.
No, but everybody and their brother started using it.
Well, I mean, it was the newest candy on the block. Everybody wanted to try it out. So
When spoof movies are using it, you know it's being used too much.
But bullet time basically it was a thing that allowed them to create the illusion that a person going at full speed has control over time and space, and which they used to show that Neo had full control over the Matrix, to where he could slow down, stop, and manipulate the Matrix at his own will. And by doing so, it allowed him to again become more powerful than the agents, than the Matrix itself, and stop the machines from eradicating the humans at that point. They basically break into this building. Like I said, they shoot everybody up. They get up to the roof. They meet an agent who is about to kill Neo, and he figures out that he has this ability, in which he proceeds to save Morpheus, and come the end of the movie, actually contacts the machines through the Matrix and informs them that he is the one. He will show the world what they're doing and stop them.
I am an FBI agent. Is that what he said?
You're horrible. What is that? Really?
Yeah, that was my Keanu Reeves. Did I get two up at the same time?
That was horrible.
Did I just get two at the same time? That
No.
and the death? I thought I heard it in the background.
No, but I mean, I'd help you out with that if you like. And it was worthy of both.
Do you hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
Hugo Weaving in this movie, like, I think he kind of does, like, there's so many things you see. Like, I get flashes of him when you see certain people do certain roles that, like, you can tell, like, his just disdain in that movie was awesome. You could tell he really felt like he hated everything there was to do with anything that wasn't a construct in the Matrix.
Never send a human to do a machine's job.
So let's talk money. $63 million was the budget of this movie, and it made $463.5 million. So it definitely crossed that 3 times.
It
mark.
does seem like a small budget.
For what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing. But again, it was a lot of first time kind of designing that thing, and it wasn't all digital. Like, it was all it was digital, but it wasn't all CGI the way that they did it. It was a lot of practical photography and cinematography that allowed them to create the visuals that they did without having to actually CGI all of it in there. So I think that probably saved them a butt ton of money. It was the highest earning rated R movie in 1990, which is pretty impressive. Especially for a bunch of indie comic writers, rookie directors that only had one film under their belt, didn't have the whole Disney Marvel franchise behind them, backing them up, to give them a footing on what was coming, and on top of that, to sweep the Academy Awards with every last nomination that they had, they took that year. So that's pretty impressive of itself. So. I think that when it comes down to it, it really shows how much hard work they put into it.
Is that how Keanu got his Oscar?
Was that for his?
He has not gotten an Oscar. That was.
But best film.
He actually was like, "Oh, let me see." I don't know.
Jesus, they're still going.
That was the best. No, but you wanted that. That's bad. That's kind of bad. But this guy over here, during our what was that movie, Raging Bull,
Yeah.
didn't know whether he lived. Jake LaMotta. He didn't know whether he was dead or alive.
That's a good movie, though.
After
At the end
seeing
of
the movie,
not in real life.
no,
but at the end of the
both.
movie.
Obviously, both. He's still alive. Corey hasn't died yet.
Have we checked on that?
Yeah, remember we checked on it during the episode.
No, I mean, have we checked on it this week?
Oh no,
We
but
don't have a Deadpool on him.
no, yeah. The only person that I kept up with whether they were alive or not was Abe Vigoda, and R.I.P.
That's because that has to be.
Did you ever see that website, abevigoda.com, Carl?
No.
It's the best website that's ever been made. It was just a website that had a picture of Abe Vigoda, and it would say, Abe Vigoda is alive.
That was it.
Yep, and then the day he died, it was Abe Vigoda is dead. And then that picture, they just X'd out the eyes. It's the best website ever, because it was some guys that sat around going, you know what? abevigoda.com is still available. And somebody else goes, is he alive? And he goes, you know what? This is information people need.
That's crazy.
Let's make a whole website around it.
So, a couple interesting facts about the movie that I thought was kind of funny. I'm trying to picture Will Smith as Neo, because that's originally who they had wanted to play Neo, but he declined because he was slated to do the Wild Wild West.
Oops.
But
Wait. You want me to be in this movie? Does it have a giant mechanical spider? Nope, I'm out.
I'm out.
Actually, it ended up. It kind of did.
Giant mechanical squids, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close.
Bro, ain't nobody gonna go watch a movie about a bunch of big mechanical squids. It's the dumbest thing. It's spiders. Mechanical spiders is
So
what it's at.
would Kevin Kline have been Morpheus?
Actually, Sean Connery, Samuel L. Jackson, and Russell Crowe.
No, what would have been
were
great,
asked to be
though,
Morpheus.
is
They
the theme song we
all
would have
turned it
gotten.
down.
The Matrix. The Matrix.
Downtown.
We were denied that. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
But no, it was Samuel L. Jackson, Sean Connery, or Russell Crowe for Morpheus.
Wow.
And they all turned it down, and Lawrence Fishburne was like, "I'll do it," and they let him in. But
it would have
Will
been great
Smith,
if it was Samuel Jackson.
what's that?
Samuel Jackson's Morpheus would have been great.
I would have loved it. That would have been I'm a huge Samuel L. Jackson retard. I love everything he's in, even if it's bad.
So when they go to the weapons room, would he have pulled out a purple lightsaber?
Probably not a purple lightsaber at the time, but I'm sure he would have pulled out where's my motherfucking gun?
I'm sick of these motherfucking agents and this motherfucking Matrix.
Exactly.
I was going to go with the red and blue pills, but okay.
Will Smith actually came back later on and said that he wasn't disappointed that he didn't take the role, even though it was like a super popular movie and would have made him a shit ton of money. Because he said he didn't feel like he was mature enough to do the role, and really appreciated the great job that Keanu Reeves did in the movie.
But he honestly did.
Yeah. Oh no, he did. And
So
this is
don't diss
actually-
your own movie.
No. I'm not dissing. No. Don't. No. Hold on. I'm saying that because Will Smith actually gave Keanu Reeves a nod in the movie for
All right.
what a good job he did, and for Will Smith to be past his ego and say, "No, I'm glad I didn't do it because he did a better job than I would have." That's not something you see these days. Will Smith doesn't give up shit for nothing these days.
There is no spoon.
Wasn't Jada Pinkett in one of the later ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wonder.
She was a
wonder
ship
if-
captain, right?
You think? Yeah, she was the
I wonder if that had anything
Nebuchadnezzar?
to do with it.
Nope, not
No,
the Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar was his.
Yeah, that was Morpheus's.
Yeah.
What was hers
She,
called?
I don't know if were they a thing at that point? Has it been that long?
I'm sure. How old is
Sure.
How old is Jaden Smith?
Like
17, 18?
Something like that.
When did Matrix come
He's
out?
such a douche. He's such
Have
a
you ever
douche.
seen some of the shit that comes over that kid's Twitter?
he wears a skirt.
And he and his sister were tweeting that we don't like the music today, so we make our own music and we listen to that.
Isn't that music of today?
Yeah, and then
So do you listen to your
because they
dad's
said
music?
because they were
that you
saying
got all
like
your money
today's
from?
music isn't artistic enough for them. It's like really, it's not.
Well,
it's
they're
not
not,
the. It's
they're
not
not
the.
far off from there, really.
Well, it's not the. It's not. It's not the great art of I whip my hair back and forth.
Right.
That is one of the creepiest videos I have ever seen.
I was.
Let's sexualize a 10-year-old
Yeah.
girl.
I was waiting for that chick to just end up with like a strained fucking neck after that thing. Like I can't watch that video without being like,
She's
oh,
got a neck brace on.
Jesus.
Matrix came out in 99, so they probably...
Matrix came out in 99, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they were together. They had to have been.
Maybe he's like, hey, baby, you go do it. I couldn't. they didn't invite him again. But now Keanu
Like
Reeves
the
as a
Oscars.
character. Ooh, too
They
soon.
didn't get invited, and Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. You threw me off. I completely lost my train of thought with that. God damn you! You really derailed me.
We were talking about Morpheus?
No.
I was just guessing.
Well,
where do you have to go?
Keanu Reeves. There's a lot of movies that Keanu Reeves in that like you just kind of watch him and you're like, it's just Bill and Ted or Bill or whatever all over again, and it's the same character. Even like Johnny Mnemonic was still just like more sci-fi, older version of them. But like this character was one of the first Keanu Reeves characters that I was like really kind of like I really liked the way he played this character versus some of the other things he's done. And now, like today, like some of the movies he's done today, like was it 47 Ronin and stuff like that, are still you can still see those characters, but it's just not like this is the one character that he played that I've always appreciated.
John
more so
Wick.
than anything else. Actually, John Wick was pretty
Yeah, I'm back.
good. Yeah, but it was still again like angry Bill and Ted. That was his version of Batman, is basically what that turns down to be. But I really enjoy this movie. It really makes it, like I said, it hit a lot of high points.
87%.
Hit a lot of high
Certified.
points in originality. The fact that the Wachowski brothers at the time,
Now sisters.
Brother
Siblings.
and sister now,
Siblings.
Is that what they're going by now?
at the time, they were like unproven directors.
What's that? Wait. Let's not blow through that. What's going on there?
Lily Wachowski used to be they used to be the Wachowski brothers,
Okay.
and basically now they're the Wachowski siblings because I can't remember his first name now. I'm so used to hearing it called Lily.
But she still has to use the men's restroom in North Carolina.
Yes. He basically he's transgender.
Oh, okay.
And he's now called
He's like
named
legit
Lily.
transgender.
I think they both are now.
Quite legit.
It's not like the Bruce Jenner situation where he just Mrs. Doubtfired everybody, right?
No.
Where like he
he's-
caused that crash
he
that killed
lives
that
it- he-
woman,
he lives
and
his
then the
life.
police showed up to his house and he looked up from the refrigerator like, "Hello, Bruce. Who's Bruce? I'm Caitlin. I'm just here to take care of the Kardashian children. Thank you for the award."
I wish that were in the Matrix.
But no, but yeah. So that's he's now Lily Wachowski.
Good
But,
for him.
They were literally like I said, that this started out as a comic book, and they had written several comics for Marvel, and they created the Matrix as an outlet. And the actual storyboard for this movie was a 600-page storyboard in which they were trying to prove to Warner Brothers, like, look, we can make this movie and we can make it good. This is the script we've come up with for it, and we've even turned it into a 600-page fucking storyboard. Look at this. This is a great idea. And basically they were like, no, you guys don't have the chops to pull this off. And they're like, fine. So they went out and made another movie. So like, we have to get at least one movie under our belt. And then they came back and did the movie, and it ends up being fucking awesome and spawns a fucking franchise that's made millions and millions of dollars, comic books, movies, animated series. Like it blew up.
Yeah, but you kind of want to forget about the other two movies, though. So to say franchise, yeah, it did, but but we're not talking about those because we're only talking about this first one.
But it was the birth of a franchise, so, and it started from here.
Yes,
You got to start somewhere.
yes, and at times was a bit confusing. I think you had to watch this at least a couple times to fully understand what the hell was going on. I think just with this with the science behind all of it, I think it could, at times it could be just real confusing. There were sometimes where I didn't know what was going on.
That scene with the talking raccoon just totally threw me for a loop.
I didn't even have to say it. The science behind it is explained throughout the movie in several different, easy to understand explanations.
Maybe.
What part didn't you understand?
You know what? In 1999, I don't remember what my thoughts were. Like I said, I had to watch it maybe a couple times.
So
just to
you didn't watch this movie again
when
just now?
Recently,
Yeah.
no. But what I'm saying is, when I was confused,
So it's part of the show.
Why would he prepare for the show, Vic?
I forgot.
damn it, don't you know this? No, I mean, what the confusing part when I was confused, it was 1999. I don't remember last week, much less 1999.
How do you know you're confused then?
Because I know it was confusing.
Does anybody remember Space 1999? That's sci-fi.
No.
Not comic book.
Not even a little. And very British.
Right?
However,
it was fucking hilarious.
However, my movie is not confusing. It's very straightforward, to the point, and very fun to watch. It's
With the most plot holes ever created in a story.
Yeah, let's give him a chance to do. Yeah, we're ripping Matrix right now.
Oh no, he's starting in on his. So I started on him.
yeah, I'm starting in on mine. Chris Pratt plays Peter Quill, who, as a young boy, is taken from Earth. We don't know by who at this point, but by an alien. An alien ship comes down after a very serious and very touching scene after he sees his mom die.
Plot hole number 1.
What, his mom dying?
No. Keep going.
No, please expand.
Plot hole number 1. So his mom dies, and literally within minutes of his mom dying, this ship miraculously appears and steals the kid.
That's not a plot hole.
It is a plot hole.
No,
it makes no sense. So you're telling me that all of a sudden these aliens knew exactly where this kid was and where to get him and when to get him.
Oh, they had enough
At that
technology
very
to fly through the universe and pick him up.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a camera.
Yeah.
Where?
They're aliens.
Makes no sense. Keep going.
They're aliens, and that's not a plot hole.
It's a
Look up a definition of plot hole.
Keep going, because
That's
there's
not
more
one.
to the plot hole that I'm going to get to in a minute.
Meredith called for him.
Okay, so anyway, then we
At least she's not called Martha, by the way.
Yeah. They got close, but they decided to turn ship. We're not going to go
Different
there.
universe.
We're Marvel.
Different universe.
We make sense.
So we jump ahead several years to when it doesn't really say how old he is. He's probably in his early 20s at this point, and we find out that he is pretty much a scavenger and will go after things, looking for them, and selling them for people.
26 years later, by the way.
Does
They
it?
mentioned it.
And yeah, so he was like 8, 9. No, he's probably 10, 11
What, at the time?
when his mom died.
8. It's supposed to be like
8.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
he's 34.
Higher math
Good
skills.
call there. Good call there in the early 20s. Go ahead. That's fair. I look like I'm in my early 20s.
Me too. Okay, so anyhow,
Luckily, we're on a podcast.
so anyhow, he tries to sell this spherical like bowl-like thing that he was supposed to go after, and he gets kicked out of where of the shop that he was going to sell it because. And
Which that entire battle scene at the beginning of the movie that was pretty badass that you completely glossed over, used a lot of the technology that was created during my movie. There's a shit ton of bullet time in the first part of that movie.
Okay. So anyhow, I do want to go. Let me go back to that. Thanks for reminding me. The whole opening scene of him walking across that planet, and to that song and on the Walkman that he's had.
Because it was so memorable that you forgot about
Come
it.
and get your love.
Because it was so memorable you forgot about it until I brought it
Well,
up.
no, because I was going with what he was doing. I wanted to backtrack a little bit.
Systematically.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I brought it up.
But one of the things that was cool too is when he was on the planet, he put on his goggles. He could see everything that used to be there and see how life was progressing at one point, and so that was pretty neat. Anyway, getting back to where I was, he meets Gamora, who's standing outside, and she steals what he was trying to sell because she's sent by Ronan. Her not her father, but a guy who's working for her father, who is I forgot his name. Now y'all are staring at me.
Big purple guy.
Yeah, big purple guy.
Really? That's what you're going to go with?
No, I'm not.
That was supposed to be a hint to help you remember his name.
No, I'm totally fucking spacing right now. Anyway, fuck it, let's go. And I hate going through the plots of these things. So anyhow,
The listeners agree.
yeah, thank you.
They hate when you go through the plot
Yeah, you
as
get
well.
You get those tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So anyhow, he chases after Gamora, and Groot and Rocket are see what's going on, so they get involved, and they're all arrested by the Nova Corps and taken in, which then they're taken to.
Is that how you pronounce that word? Corpse?
Corpse.
Core.
It's just core.
Yeah.
Nova Core.
Is it Nova Corps?
Yeah.
I thought it was corpse.
Have you lived your entire life thinking that CORP is corpse?
Maybe.
Continue.
Wait, CORPS is cores?
Just core.
Core.
Yeah.
So you ignore the P and the S.
It's a military thing.
Oh, okay.
See? It's not just me.
No, you know what? I'm gonna point for bringing up how dumb that is. You got 2 letters on there. Why just leave the letters off?
So anyhow, they try to devise a plan to break out along with Drax, who's played by Dave Bautista, former WWE wrestler, and in which they end up.
Boy, I bet he had never been happier to get back to a galaxy. Because when he came back after filming this, people hated him. He was not expecting that. He got the nickname Blue Tista. Shit was hilarious.
Well, he did. He was gold in the Man with the Iron Fist, the RZA movie. He played this guy that was all. He was brass. He was the brass man. So he went from being brass to being green.
I think he's trying to be the next Rock.
I think so.
I don't think it's going to be there, though. He's not nearly as charismatic.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead. So we meet Drax.
Yeah, so they're all of them as a group were able to break out, and Ronan knows that Quill still has this ball, and inside the ball we find out later it's a piece of it's got the jewels for the glove, which we don't know at this time that it's a jewel for the glove.
We do know that it's an Infinity Gem.
Yeah, I mean we know as the viewer that what the Infinity Gems are for, but so he spends the rest of the movie going after Quill and trying to get this piece, and then in the end ends up being killed and by the Infinity Gem because Quill is able to absorb along with the rest of the gang, minus Groot, who has already died, but comes back, and they're able to kill Ronan, and then they save the planet. So this movie, what?
Continue.
What?
Keep going.
All right, fine. This movie is just downright fun. I'm not gonna mess around anymore with the plot because I don't like to.
You haven't even told people half of the shit as to why it's fun. There's so many things in there that continue. I digress.
There's a space fight. There's a space fight that when the first time I saw this, and this was when it came out. What year was that? In 2014, the new Star Wars hadn't come out yet. So when Vic and I were there together and watching this, it just reminded me of Star Wars and brought me back to seeing Star Wars on the big screen. Just the fight, the ships going in and out of buildings and shooting at each other. It was, it was just fun seeing that. And then the characters you grow to love. Some of them you love them right off the bat.
Reprising his role as the Iron Giant instead of as a giant tree.
Well, Groot doesn't do much. I mean, doesn't say much other than "I am Groot." I mean, that's all he knows.
Hodor.
Yeah, see, and so there's really not much that you could say about Vin Diesel playing that role. I am Groot. That's all he says. You do that once and you're done.
I think he probably did it more than once.
No, probably so.
There's pieces of this movie. Now, mind you, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know the background and the story behind all of this, Starjammers with the Guardians and everything else going on. But there are elements to this whole thing that throw me out of the movie. Things like. And they're just little things that don't make any sense. Okay, so he's had a tape recorder that he's managed to keep working for 26 years. Okay?
Yes.
Mind you, the fact that...
He's a spaceship. He can keep a cassette working.
Okay, so we're old enough here to remember cassette tapes, right? After you play a cassette tape for a certain amount of time, certain things happen to cassette tapes that would not logically allow him to still have that cassette tape. Okay, that thing is going to wear through within a year of him having it out there, let alone 26. Not to mention the fact he's using a Sony Walkman tape player that, by all rights and accounts, should have stopped working a long time ago, unless he's got like proton batteries in this thing that lets it run forever.
He's really going to hate what I got to say. I've got a Sony Walkman upstairs, and it still works.
But you don't have the same batteries from 26 years ago in it.
No,
that's
but
my point.
What he can do, he's in space. I'm sure there's some kind of thing.
So your answer to everything is because he's in space that everything works right.
They got spaceships. There's spaceships. I'm sure there's something they can finagle together that can take the place of batteries.
I mean, he can't hold an infinity stone in his bare hand.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. But you also leave out, like, there's so many things in the course of this movie that make it, like, okay, so let's talk about general physics of what we know about human beings and space. You can't fly around in space without some sort of full body protection on and not die.
That's not true.
So he has a helmet on. You're freeze to death.
Have you been in space?
Actually, you can't.
What?
It takes since you're in the vacuum of space, there's nothing to convect. You would actually cool off very slowly in space.
However, he would decompress because all he has on is a helmet, and he has nothing else to control his body pressure.
Yes.
Nothing. Literally a leather jacket with full open sleeves.
You would suffocate rather quickly.
Gone. Okay, so a spaceship solves that problem?
Yes.
You're an ass. So let's talk about. I don't know how they did it. Like another point that that did not really sit with me was how information travels. I know that they're in space and I know they have spaceships, but Ronan knows everything that's going on in split seconds. Like, he knows exactly where they are. He knows how to find it. He knows, like, all this stuff. And I know that, Zax called him and basically said, hey, we're here. But, like, everything that's going on, like,
Drax.
He knows exactly when and where he got
Did you say Zach?
He said Zax.
Oh.
He knows exactly when and where he got the Infinity Stone from. If he knew where that was, because as soon as he gets his hands on it, he's got his troops there. If he knew where it was, why the fuck didn't he just go get it before he went there to get it? Like, there's just things like that, like, throw off my ability to suspend my disbelief for the movie.
And before anybody...
Let's talk about Blue Merle.
The purple guy is Thanos.
Let's talk about Blue Merle, yeah. After a while, you finally figured it out. Thank you, Wikipedia. Let's talk about Blue Merle, who has an arrow that he's able...
Blue Merle.
He's able to whistle and kinetically control this arrow that murders people, yet when he gets mad, he doesn't use it to really do anything. He just like, I'm going to kill these people, and then I'm just going to...
That scene where he, after he gets shot down, he's standing there, and all those guys surround him, and he just takes it out and just shoot and kills them all in one shot. That was badass. Making
him an ultimate fucking badass, but that's the only time he uses this thing.
I loved his origin movie, by the way, where he became a supervillain. Did you guys see that? Where his wife was dropped down a cliff by Sylvester Stallone, and that drove him to insanity, and then he became
Blue Merle.
Blue Merle.
Is that another cliffhanger, Joe?
Yes.
Since I still haven't seen it.
You still have not seen this movie.
Nope.
Oh my God. Anyway. Things of this nature, like there's just little bits and pieces in there that, like I said, it's an enjoyable movie. It's fun. I like that they had a lot of the things that make it part of the Marvel, mythos. But there's just so many things in there. Like, why the fuck are we doing? So take, for instance, Ronan. Ronan's supposed to be this ultimate badass, a super badass guy who can basically kill anybody, anything he wants to, especially once he gets his hands on the Infinity Gem. Okay? But instead of using the Infinity Gem to kill the people that are attacking him and going after him, he just throws them around a little bit and basically gives them time to get the gem away from him and kill him with it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially since, like... And I understand, like, if they did it that way, it would just screw up the movie. But, like, do a little bit better with the way that they're handling the characters. And
so like when Agent Smith has Morpheus and doesn't kill him?
Yes. It's stupid for them not to do that. However, there was a reason why he didn't kill him, because he needed information. If he killed him, he would never get the information he was looking for, because Morpheus was the only person who had the codes to Zion, because the ship captains are the only ones that have the codes to Zion, and he's the only ship captain that they have access to right now, because he's the only one that actually makes his presence known in the Matrix. So there's a reason why he can't kill him.
Because the program needs to do it right away. They need to get in there right away because all 100 people out of the 7 billion batteries are throwing off the Matrix.
Well, they're continuously disconnecting people from the Matrix, so they want it to stop. So, I mean, there's a story behind it, and it actually makes sense as to why he doesn't kill him, as opposed to why Ronan doesn't kill the guys that he knows are going to that are trying to get rid of him. The outstanding portion of the movie is the two words is the fact that Groot is in this movie makes it like so much better and more enjoyable. But there's so many things in this movie that are off to me, that despite liking it, it's still got so many holes in it. It's ridiculous.
Yet you haven't named any holes.
I just told you a bunch of them.
Those aren't plot holes.
Those are definitely plot holes. Those are things that open
Is that
up in
your
the
whole
storyline.
defense?
A plot hole is something that opens up in the story that makes that disconnects you from suspending your disbelief about what you're watching. Those are holes in the plot that shouldn't be there.
To the listener, he's holding his hands up like a hole.
Corey's going with the Trump defense. You get caught with your pants. No, that's not right. No, those aren't plot holes. No, those are plot. No, we're gonna look into those plot holes, and they're gonna have the best plot holes of anyone out. Are gonna be huge.
If it was a plot hole, I'd marry it. It's ridiculous, dude.
Anyway, this movie is just fun. Matrix, I wouldn't say it's fun. It's good, but it's not fun. And I think with sci-fi movies, I think they need to be fun. They don't have to think too much.
Sci-fi movies are not comedies. Sci-fi movies are meant to be exciting.
They can be
engaging, and just like comedies can be dramas if you don't take the soundtrack out of something. But still, like a sci-fi movie is meant to be a lot of things. Engaging. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be fun,
this was
but it has to
exciting.
be enjoyable. But to have a story that gives you that makes you ask so many questions about the storyline, and I know it didn't give you any questions.
I didn't have any questions.
Yes.
You had no questions after you saw The Matrix.
The story was given. Like there were holes in it, but the holes that were there were things that you don't have a direct line as to why they're there. Like, because you can say, okay, well that's unlike they're spaceships and they're space. Like, well, you understand that the Matrix is there and that they can change things and do things to it that allow them to do the things that they're doing, as opposed to a human being cannot survive in space without anything covering his body. Like that's a thing.
I was just confused by that explanation. It's commercial time. All right, Carl. Tell the people where they can find out about Indy PopCon and all that good jazz.
In www.indypopcon.com or our Facebook page, Indy PopCon. And there's even a nice Facebook group for Indy PopCon, too.
And that is going to be June 17th to 19th at the Indiana Convention Center in beautiful, dangerous downtown Indianapolis. All right. Vic, where can the people find you?
It's not dangerous.
Wow.
Just a lot of unsolved murders, but don't pay attention to that. Vic, how about you?
What a way to sell it.
Good Lord.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
You can find me on social media at MillerKing51 or online playing games all day, all night long at Black and Angry. That's BLAQ and Angry.
Corey, go ahead.
You can find me on Twitter at NKOgonzo.
See, now it's just like it's in his head.
Right.
So it fucks with him more
Fuck every
that
time
I
it doesn't
don't
happen.
cut him off.
It's great.
And you can find me, BradScottComedy.com, at Brad Scott Comedy on social media. And I'll probably at Crackers in the next week or two. I don't even know when the hell this is going to be published, but I'm guessing I'll be at Crackers within a week or two. So let's get back to the show. Welcome back to the Showdown Podcast. Our sci-fi battle has been completed. The fellas they've made their case, and now just comes down to the judges' decisions. Carl, you're our guest, so
You choked on that one.
go ahead and give us your winner and your reason.
Oh, you're killing me. But I love both of these movies, and they're very different. So it's tough to compare them apples to apples. They're made for different audiences. They're made for different mentalities. One is just the first part of itself. The other is smack dab in the middle of a whole host of another universe. It's a whole universe with Marvel, and but as far as the overall general quality of the movie and the storytelling, and I have to go with The Matrix.
All right, that is a vote for Vic. And I have to say, this was a tough one because Guardians of the Galaxy is my 8th favorite movie of all time. And
It's good.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
but Vic's argument was light years better than yours. Like, you just looked so amateurish. You really did. I mean, he completely dominated you. Like, he had valid points. He had stuff I didn't know. I kind of want to go home and watch The Matrix tonight because I haven't seen it in a long while, and he kind of re-inspired.
See, I'm going to go home and time how long he was actually exposed in space, because I think it's still plausible.
But
That's the scientist in me. I think it was plausible.
Absolutely.
as we all know, a very complex decision-making process, and this will stand as a split decision. I am giving the win to Corey because I like that movie that much more. Vic, you had a great argument. That was a hell of an argument. No,
Really? Again?
that was a great argument, Vic. But
Oh, my God.
it wasn't good enough to sway me and take me away from Chris Pratt and those beautiful blue eyes.
So does the president get a veto?
He does not.
Because I was going to.
You are not the president of the showdown.
No, I was actually going to agree with you, because if I could have given a split decision,
No.
Notwithstanding to the quality of the argument for Guardians of the Galaxy, it is a highly quality.
No. I just mean it's a split decision as far as me and you don't agree. Vic did great, but I'm giving him like an A for effort type deal. But in the books, it's going to go down as I gave the win to Corey.
First time shit like this has happened.
All right.
And I thought Corey at first. I was like, he's like, is he just trying to like, play off my emotions by picking one of my favorite movies ever? But then I was like, well, he did that with Goodfellas and Lost. So he was just he went balls to the wall and gave an awful argument on behalf of his. I didn't even know what the hell his movie was about, honestly, with his explanation. But again, it's that good, Vic. Sorry, buddy. Buck up, champ.
I didn't lose, so I'm not really that worried about it. And it's not the first time I've been fucked like that. So there you go, Corey.
All right, so it goes down as a split. It goes down as a split.
take it.
Yeah, that goes down as a split, and so neither of these films will go into the Hall of Fame, but as of today, they're both equally as good. So that part is done. Vic, why don't you tell us what you're most excited about for PopCon? June 17th to the 19th, Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Convention Center downtown.
So my family and I, as of the first PopCon, have become collectors of independent art. So our entire, and I'm telling you, we have a lot of it now. My entire living room, my son's room, my podcast room, everything is literally just independent art, independent artists.
That's fantastic.
It's really supporting what they do. There's a lot of argument out there about buying, prints and things like that, but it's they put their time into making that work. So I think that them having the opportunity to once again show off what they can do, and then provide so many people with a piece of their artistic, ability and something, a talking point. Like people come to my house and they're like, "Why do you guys have all this weird stuff?" I'm like, "Because it's awesome." Like, and we've really become, our family overall, my wife included, who's a big follower of these kind of like pop culture type of stuff,
Sure.
Has taken to a very big collection of her own of independent arts because of the convention stuff. So that's what I'm looking most forward to, is actually getting to see some of the artists that I got artwork from last year and the year before, and getting another piece to add to that wall of that artist collection. So
yeah, it's as far as the art culture goes, it's highly unrecognized.
Yes.
The quality of art that comes out of the geek culture, people that will never be a Monet, but they're just as talented. Absolutely.
And I think that this is a great way for us to, they may not get to be appreciated as much outside of our culture, the pop culture,
right?
But they deserve that piece to me. And I'm over the years, like I didn't used to buy the art. I used to be like, that's a lot of money for a reproduction of something that's not, But I've come to appreciate over the years, and PopCon's one of the reasons why that those guys really do deserve every penny that they can get at these conventions. It's worth it.
Yeah, and we also make it very easy for them to get in. The booth prices are very inexpensive for artists, so we recognize that too.
It's awesome.
Corey?
I'm looking forward to. I don't know how audible it was, but I'm looking over the guest list, and I'm a fan of the show Gotham. And I see that Drew Powell is going to be there. And if you watch Gotham or you don't, he is one of the characters on there that used to be a henchman for Penguin, and now he's kind of on his. He is the henchman, or he's not the henchman, but he's the main bad guy now.
Calling himself the kingpin of Gotham at this point.
Yeah,
right.
and so he's going to be there. I had no idea he was from Indiana too.
Thank you for bringing that up. We actually try and target people that are from Indiana, and bring them home for a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm interested to meet
heroes.
Him and Tara Strong, which I've mentioned before, and Charles Martinet? Martinet. If you don't know who he is, he's actually the voice of Mario and Luigi and Wario and several.
It's me.
Yeah, several of the Nintendo characters. So those are definitely ones. Aside from some of the wrestlers that have already been announced too. That those are some of the people I'd like to see. Oh, and one other guy that I think we should hit up too is John Bailey, who does voices. He's like the voiceover guy. I don't know if I saw him when I went and saw Batman vs Superman. He actually was doing commercials in the theater. For I think it was want to say it was AMC, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what theater it was in. But yeah, so he's got a killer voice. If you've watched any of the Smosh Honest trailers or Screen Junkie stuff, he does a lot of their voiceover stuff. Killer voice too. So those are some of the people I'm looking forward to seeing. Just because I'm old.
And Brad, what are you looking forward to so we can get this guy to stop talking?
I think
you asked.
I think it's pretty obvious. I am looking forward to the Invasion with Tommy Dreamer, ECW legend, the Headbangers, Thrash and Mosh, and I just saw, where did this one go? I'm looking at the Facebook page right now. You can get all this information at Indy PopCon on Facebook and indypopcon.com. Grandmaster Sexai is going to be there.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Jerry Lawler's kid. So that'll be fun. And also, obviously, Charles Martinet and Tara Strong for my daughter, because she is a huge Teen Titans Go fan, and Raven is her favorite character, and she loves the My Little Pony. So we will be doing that, and we'll probably do some costumes.
You're going to do some costumes?
I probably will.
Heck
I do
yeah.
it for my kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a costume guy, but I'll do it for her.
That's why I wear my mask.
Pink dress and a tutu.
I would do it if she asked me. I would do it, but
You wouldn't stick out.
no, not at all. People would be too distracted by the white Power Ranger.
Are you aware who he's referring to?
He's the guy who wears.
Every convention.
Oh, yes.
It's like a child.
With a stuffed animal.
Yes.
Yes.
Every convention.
White Power Ranger and a stuffed animal.
We seek him out every convention.
He's awesome.
We don't even have to seek him out. I happened to turn around and he was there. I'm like, oh my God, I saw that dude at one other convention.
Yeah, tens of thousands of people, and he's just there.
Yeah.
We were recording, and my son was recording at the Doctor Who booth, and I was messing with the Dalek, and he just kind of walks through the frame. I'm like, where the heck did he come? I don't remember seeing him. Like, I really don't remember noticing he was there, and I'm watching the video, and he just kind of comes through the frame. I'm like, when did that happen? He's everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's another big thing we have to find is the White Power Ranger.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be too hard for us to find him. And we will be there as well, wandering around the floors.
Absolutely.
And
Interviews and talking to people and asking silly questions.
so if you do make it out, be sure to find us and say hey.
So, Carl, what if there was one talent that you could pick to be at PopCon, like your top pick for someone to attend PopCon as a guest, who would it be?
So who do I want to see at PopCon?
Who would you want to, like, you'd be like,
Money's not an
holy
issue.
shit, I got so and so.
You're talking about like money's not an issue.
For this year or just in
Just
general?
in general, like, who would you want to see?
Yeah. See, somebody asked me that on Reddit, so I did an AMA on
God
Reddit.
damn it, Vic! You know we try to keep it original. All right, go ahead.
No. It's a great question, and my answer isn't even a geeky answer, and it's Tom Hanks. I would love to meet Tom Hanks, and he doesn't do geeky anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one of those people that if I ever do get to meet him, that would be fantastic.
You might be able to offer him some typewriters because he collects old typewriters.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Inside scoop.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Breaking news: Tom Hanks collects
But
typewriters.
the easier than that. We keep trying to get John and Hank Green to come back. Or John actually lives here, but he's so dang busy with all his movies. But that's Fault in Our Stars author.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm just making sure everybody knows who John
Yeah,
Green
my
is.
daughter would.
But Hank Green, Hank is they started off as the Vlog Brothers. But Hank has the SciShow channel, and they're up to like 3.3 million subscribers on YouTube. So Hank's got a good thing going now too. So it's if you guys are listening to this, but we keep asking, but they're busy. They're busy folks.
You guys are gaining. I think you're gaining on them. I have the opinion that PopCon, as PopCon continues on, you're going to have people like that going, oh, yeah, we'll definitely go. It's in our backyard. We definitely should be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they started VidCon though, so we're kind of a competitor.
Oh, jeez.
If they're listening to this podcast, I would be fucking surprised. I'm surprised that anyone is listening.
So are you seeing, moving on with that, with that said, are you seeing more and more people trying to get into the convention business?
Will the Frost Sisters be back?
The Frost Sisters will not be back
God
unless they come on their own.
You know what?
Yeah,
don't go to the convention. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of that, where's my $10?
Oh, shit.
I saw them a couple weeks ago at C2E2 up in Chicago. So
They are amazing. Like they're
super sweet.
they're perfect.
And
Like,
their mom is so supportive, and
it's insane how much they look like those characters.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Shoot, I saw her when she came out as Maleficent. It was crazy. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, they have a very talented cosplay career.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most about this year, Carl?
Oh, God damn it, you skipped my question completely.
Yeah.
What was your question?
So I can't even answer that question because I can't even leak that one yet because we haven't even announced the biggest thing that we're going to be doing. But
Let's do it on the showdown.
Too much of a head start.
but
Well, it is next week when this is airing.
yeah, that's true. But I know that's not going to happen. But the.
I tried.
Because in reality it's April 4th. But so what am I most excited about is just being just recreating what we did last year. So if we can do what we did last year and do it again, it's not a fluke because last year just went so well. And secondarily, as you guys mentioned in the previous podcast, we had a lot of people trying to be in line for one thing, and we've got a whole new process for that too. So it's going to be nice to see how well that works. And so yeah, I'm just thinking logistically.
Well,
So secondarily, I may get to see some of the people that we're flying in, but it's that's not the point of it for me. It's really trying to create the experience for everybody else.
So then, in regards to the long lines, then I'm assuming for the YouTubers.
Yep.
So you guys learned, you guys took notes then from how to do something different.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's we took some cues from multiple other conventions actually, but really made it our own process. So early in the day, and this is all on the website, so don't take this exact description as gold. Go to our website for the exact proper protocol. But you're going to go to the main exhibit, the main stage hall early in the morning and get a wristband. So if you get a wristband, then you're good to get in that line for that particular guest for that day. So
at any time.
Yeah, well, no, it'll be for that day at a very particular 2-hour window.
Oh, okay.
But in everybody will know when that is. But so you won't even be able to get in line without that wristband, and everybody with the wristband will get the signature. We'll get to meet the people. So for like Ninja Sex Party is going to be one of the biggies. So that one sold out right away. They're our Markiplier this year. So
I saw that. I was like, what?
yeah, they're actually friends with Mark and Jack and all them. So, but no, if you got your VIP badge, then you got an automatic voucher. So that's how they've already sold out. So the VIPs have already booked up all the slots we held aside for VIPs. So for all the people that are doing free autographs, we gave a percent of them to the VIPs. So every VIP is going to be able to get a stage autograph once for the weekend for somebody, if that makes sense. So if you bought a VIP this week, you're not going to get one for Ninja Sex Party. You're going to have to get it for somebody else. But they're all great. Yeah. So
right.
But if you do want to go see Ninja Sex Party, then you just have to get there in line early to get your wristband. And once you get a wristband, you're good. Yeah. But in 2015, last year, we were doing it all on the fly with the huge crowds, and we're having people sit in sections, and then we're making them move in sections, and people were just sitting there all day being able to do nothing. So we're completely avoiding that this year.
Did you expect that kind of turnout for them?
We knew that there was going to be a lot of people, but even they didn't expect that there was going to be that kind of turnout. Even Mark had never had that kind of reception before. So
yeah, I mean, something like that. If you don't even expect it, you know, it's like
we were adapting on the fly as best we could.
And again, I think being
and we had all hands on deck.
Yeah,
so
being location wise for you guys picking. Once again, obviously, because it's a hometown, but Indianapolis is so centrally located.
Yep.
You have the ability to pull from so many different places within driving distance for a lot of these people.
2/3 of the U.S. population are within a day's drive in
So
Indianapolis.
you're going to have that many people who are looking at this stuff on YouTube going, I'll never get to meet this person, but, they're literally an hour and a half away from me. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's definitely... You can see why that happened.
And I certainly felt for you guys too, because I would see the comments, either on Facebook or I'd hear it there. It's like, all the complaining. And I'm like, you can't predict that something like that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I would have never seen that happen.
And the Mark and Jack Septiceye were troopers, because they signed for 7 or 8 hours a day, which is well beyond anything we could have asked them to do, and they were absolute troopers.
But I think also, like, you hear about the YouTube personalities and how much they know that their popularity and their success and
completely
fame
hinges
completely built off of their fans.
Yep.
So they tend to be a lot more gracious to put in that extra time and to make sure that every fan possible that they can get to,
and they're just nice.
Realistically, is gets hands on that same feeling from start to finish, and you can really see it in not only in the personality, but then the response of the people coming away from them are all like, they really feel like that they were important to be seen by that person.
Yep.
And I've been through that experience with quote unquote big stars where you just walk away from it, you're like, wow, why did I just spend that time and that money with that person?
Right.
I told you I was having a bad day, Vic. You need to let that shit go. All right. I met you. That was.
I still want my money back.
Now, have you guys finished with all the YouTube guests?
I don't think we have any. Well, I think we have at least one more large announcement, but it's not a YouTube guest.
Okay.
I think we've got all the YouTube guests announced.
Because there's one that my daughter likes, and I thought I might ask, but
Who?
Flula.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. There's
a few others that she likes too, but that's the only one I can remember.
There is one other YouTube guest, but he is coming in on his own, and I think he got a booth, but he's big too.
Patrick Hall, I want him.
But I'm not gonna say who it is because I can't. He's not an announcement, so if he doesn't come, I can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You know what? For the invasion, you could get Virgil if you just tell him that you're there. You don't have to pay him. He'll just show up.
Offer him a spot in
And
a sandwich.
he'll set up his table
Just send him a tweet.
with his misspelled sign. Promise him some Olive Garden, and he'll be there.
that's hilarious.
All right, thank you for listening again. This has been the Showdown Podcast. Split decision, no real winner. We want to thank our guest, Carl. We appreciate it. It seemed painful the longer you were here, so we appreciate you sticking it out and being a trooper. And this is it's been a fun couple of shows, and we're looking forward to PopCon. Make sure you check that out. That is June 17th through the 19th.
Yep.
That is at the Indianapolis Convention Center in downtown Indianapolis. And for Vic Miller, Corey Miller, I am Brad Scott. We'll talk to you next time.